Good morning, everybody. So we are on lesson or day 9 of module 1 in Wit and Wisdom today. So our essential question for module 1 is, how does change impact people and nature? And we talked about that with our first text, how do you know it's fall? And we're talking about it now with our second text, the little yellow leaf. Our focusing question for the little yellow leaf is, how does the little yellow leaf change? And we are going to be answering that question today in our writing activity. Our content framing question for today is, what is the important message in the little yellow leaf? So what does the author want us to learn by reading this story? And then our craft question for today, which is our writing question, is, how do I use evidence to organize my informative paragraph? That's going to be an important part of our lesson today, okay? We're going to look at identifying the important message in our story. We're going to work on selecting and using evidence in an informative writing paragraph. An informative paragraph, guys, is just where you give information. You tell about something in a paragraph form. So I am going to share my screen so we can get started on our lesson for today.
Yellow leaf.
Oops,
Hand down.
There we go.
Welcome back, second graders. I'm Sue Sabella, your Great Minds teacher, and I'm excited to work with you today. Let's see what we need. Today you'll need the little yellow leaf, handout 11B, exemplar paragraph. Please grab a clean copy, one that we haven't marked up yet. We'll also need assessment 13, the focusing question task, your journal, and a pencil. Please pause here to take your time to gather what you need, and just hit the play button when you're ready to continue.
Okay, so we are not going to you're not going to need a fresh copy of handout 11B. We are only going to watch Miss Sabella do it on her screen, okay? And your assessment 13 focusing question task is already included in your Google Classroom activity, so you don't need a copy of that right now either. You just need to have your digital copy of the little yellow leaf, your knowledge response journal, and a pencil.
Please pause here to take your time to gather what you need, and just hit the play button when you're ready to continue. Read the essential question to yourself, and then we'll read it together. How does change impact people and nature? Today we'll continue to read closely as we think about this question. How does the little yellow leaf change? Authors of stories contribute to or add to our knowledge every time we read a story. Authors have big ideas, and they often share those big ideas through the words they use in their stories. As readers, we can attend to those words to learn more about the big messages or the central messages that the authors are trying to share with us. Today, we'll be reading and thinking to determine the central message in the story, The Little Yellow Leaf. Today, we'll revisit The Little Yellow Leaf to discover the important message inside this story. We may even find more than one important message. The evidence that we gather together as we read will help us determine the central message in the story. Let's look closely at some of the standout choices the author made, or some of the words that the author chose to reveal the important message in the story. Let's reread pages 3 to 4 aloud. I'm not ready yet. thought the little yellow leaf, as a riot of fiery leaves chased and swirled round the tree. Look closely at the words on page 3. What do you notice about the way the words are written? I'm not ready yet are written in slanty letters called italics. Why do you think the author chose to put the words I'm not ready in italics? Italics are often used to make words stand out from the rest of the text. The author wanted us to notice these words and to show us that they're important. Now let's take a look at page 5 and 6. Not yet, thought the little yellow leaf. What do you notice about the words not yet? They're also in italics. What else do you notice about the words not yet? Both of these words were also used on page 3, where the author wrote, I'm not ready yet. Repeating words is another standout choice that authors make to show us that those words are important. Now we're going to dig into the middle of the book.
Okay, before we go to the middle, I want to show you something that I noticed about the words that are italicized, so the italics. It says, I'm not ready yet, thought the little yellow leaf. And then on the next page it says, not yet, thought the little yellow leaf. So I'm thinking that when the words are italicized like that, that shows me that the little yellow leaf is thinking and not talking. Because if you look here, we can see that here he's talking because we have the quotation marks and it has the word said, the little scarlet leaf, or called, the little yellow leaf, or asked. So here we know they're talking. But I think where the words are italicized, it's showing that the little yellow leaf is thinking in his head. Okay. Here we go.
There are some standout choices that the author made in the middle of the book. Neither spoke. Finally, will you? Asked the little scarlet leaf. I will, said the little yellow leaf. Which words stand out? What makes those words stand out? Will you and I will stand out because they're larger and darker than the other words, and the word will is repeated. Let's take a look at the end of the book. Into the waiting wind they danced, off and away and away and away. Which words stand out to you? Shout it out loud or share it with your learning partner.
So what do you notice about the words on this page? Into the waiting wind they danced, off and away and away and away. What do you notice? We've talked several times before about repeating words, and there are some words here that are being repeated. The words away and away and away. That makes me think that these are important words. These are some standout words that we need to remember.
The words away and away and away stand out because the word away is a repeated word. These words are standout choices that the author made, and I'm going to add those to our chart. We can use the change chart to help us think about the central message of the story. What do you notice about the words we examined at the beginning? What do they tell us about how the leaf was feeling? Whisper to me or tell a learning partner.
Okay, so what do you think that the little yellow leaf is feeling in the beginning? We have the clues. The little yellow leaf clung to the branch. Yellow leaf is alone, And I'm not ready yet. Not yet, he was saying. So how do you think he was feeling here? I want you to turn and talk to your partner, your learning partner, about how you think little yellow leaf was feeling at the beginning. And when you're ready, you can push play.
Little yellow leaf is definitely not ready to let go at the beginning of the story. Now, what do you notice about the words we examined at the end? What do they tell us about how the leaf was feeling?
Okay, so if we look at the end of the chart, how is he feeling at the end? It says leaves let go, they soared together with scarlet leaf, and then away and away and away. We can tell that he feels differently in the end than he did in the beginning. But how do you think he's feeling in the end? Turn and tell your learning partner, and when you're ready, you may push play.
The leaves felt free, dancing and soaring in the wind together. Now point to the words that show the moment when the leaf changed.
So where can you see on the chart that the little yellow leaf went from being afraid and alone to being free and together with the scarlet leaf? Where does that change happen?
The words "will you" and "I will" definitely signal a change. What helped the little yellow leaf to let go? Find that information on the chart and point to it.
So where is it on our chart that actually shows that he decided that he could do this?
That's right. It saw another leaf. It found a friend. And now it had someone to go with. There's the check in the corner. You're going to have an opportunity to check in with your teacher. And now that you've examined the standout words in the text, you're ready to think about the central message. You'll be using evidence from our chart to answer this question. What does the little yellow leaf learn? Please write this question in your journal so we can flip back to the evidence chart while you think and while you write in your journal to answer this question. Pause to write the question in your journal now and hit play when you're ready to continue.
Okay, so the first thing that you need to do today is you need to go back to page 10.
Here's the evidence chart.
Stop. Hold on. Where's the thing? Okay. Oh. I can't make that go away. I don't know what's going on. It won't stop clicking. There we go. Okay. I don't know what happened there. Okay, so you're going to go to page 10. We started our change chart a couple of days ago for the little yellow leaf. Ooh, that's really close. Okay, so when you made your change chart yesterday, you had the first row and the second row, but then the whole third row was blank. Okay, it's not blank anymore. Okay, we did this part today with Miss Sabella. So this is the first thing that you need to do today. There is a new photo uploaded into the classroom under change chart, and you need to put the new information on the bottom because you're going to need to use this whole chart for your writing activity later. So this is step 1. finish your chart, okay? And then after you do that, you can go to page 14, which is what Miss Sabella was just talking about. We're on page 14. And the question is, what does the little yellow leaf learn? Guys, this is your opinion, okay? There is no right or wrong answer for this. This is what you think little yellow leaf learned, okay? You can have several different choices for what he learned. I think little yellow leaf may have learned that when you have a friend do something with you, it makes it easier. That could be what you think he learned. You could maybe think that he learned that it's okay to be afraid of things as long as you try to face it. Maybe you would think he learned that it's okay, that it's good to be brave. It is your opinion on what the little yellow leaf learned, okay? I'm not going to tell you whether it's right or wrong because it's your opinion. I'm not going to tell you that your opinion is wrong. So this is going to go on page 14. What does the little yellow leaf learn? Okay. Now, I know I say this all the time, but it's because I keep forgetting to reshare my screen. So I'm going to share my screen again. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the meeting, the video. Okay, so here is the chart that I just told you about. This is the part that you need to finish on your chart. Okay. I'm like worried to death that I'm not sharing my screen right now. Okay, so this is the third time I've done this video today. I keep messing it up. We're going to go back to listening to Miss Sabella.
That you can refer back to as you think about and write about the central message. Little yellow leaf learned a lesson, and so did we. That lesson the author is teaching us is the central message of the story. Pause to think and write to answer the question, and just hit play when you're ready to continue. Today you'll be learning how to use evidence in an informative paragraph. Please grab a clean copy of handout 11B. A clean copy means that it doesn't have any markings on it yet. And please be sure to grab your pencil as well. Read this paragraph to yourself on your copy, and then we'll read it together. As you read, keep this question in mind. What is this paragraph about? I'm going to stay off the slide so you can pause to read the paragraph to yourself. Hit play when you're ready to continue.
Okay, it says the trees change. Let me try that again. The tree changes from late fall to winter. At first, it's fall, and most of the leaves are brown and orange and are on the ground. Then the apples grow musky and ripe, and the leaves on the ground get dry and crackly. Finally, the branches are completely bare and covered with a shimmer of snow. So what do you think that paragraph is talking about? Turn and talk to your learning partner about what you think that paragraph is trying to talk about. Okay, so I know that when I'm reading a paragraph, the first place I should look to see what the paragraph is going to be about is the first sentence. And the first sentence says, the tree changes from late fall to winter. So that makes me think this paragraph is going to be talking about how the tree changes from the fall through to the winter. So let's see what Miss Sabella has to say.
The tree changes from late fall to winter. At first, it's fall and most of the leaves are brown and orange and are on the ground. Then the apples grow musky and ripe, and the leaves on the ground get dry and crackly. Finally, the branches are completely bare, and covered with a shimmer of snow. This paragraph is about how the tree and the little yellow leaf changes from fall to winter. And the first sentence states the main topic of the paragraph. Underline the topic statement with your pencil. The remaining sentences are evidence that support the topic statement. When you write about change in the story, you must include evidence from the beginning, middle, and end of the story. As writers, we can use linking words that signal to the reader that we are including evidence from the beginning, middle, and end of the story. When we read the linking phrase, at first, we know we are reading about the beginning of the book. Circle at first on your handout. When we read the linking word then, we know we are reading about a change that probably happened in the middle of the book. Circle then on your handout. Which word would we circle next? Point to that word on your handout.
So we've talked about at first, which tells us what happens in the beginning. We've talked about then, which tells us that there's a change and usually is around the middle. So what do you think the next word is going to be? Those are called temporal words or time words. What do you think the next one's going to be? Yeah, it's going to be finally.
Finally. When we read the word finally, we know we are reading about the end of the book. All of the evidence is linked together with linking words that tell the reader when these events happened in the story. The evidence supports the topic statement. When we read first, we are reading or writing about the beginning of the story. When we read then, we are reading or writing about the middle of the story. When we read finally, we are reading or writing about the end of the story. Today you'll write a paragraph about how little yellow leaf changes. As you write your paragraph, you'll be sure to include evidence from the beginning, the middle, and that's right, the end of the story as well. Remember, evidence develops the topic, and it comes from the text. Please grab Assessment 13, the focusing question task, and your pencil. Let's review the directions for the focusing question task. Write an informative paragraph with change to answer the question, how does little yellow leaf change? It's important to include the following in your answer: a topic statement, at least 3 sentences with evidence, and the words first, then, and finally. First, select the evidence you will use in your paragraph, then write your informational paragraph and be sure to include change. Let's practice out loud first. First, I need to select the evidence that I will use in my paragraph. Now I need to use the words first.
Okay, before we go on with this, I want to show you. So she has taken one piece of evidence from the beginning and put it in yellow because our first piece of evidence we always outline in yellow. The second piece of evidence comes from the middle, and she has outlined it in blue. Our third piece of evidence came from the ending, and it's in yellow again because yellow and blue make green. And green is the color of the topic statement. So these three pieces of evidence support the topic statement. Okay, so she took one from the beginning, one from the middle, and one from the end. Okay, so those are three of the requirements for your writing activity. You have to have evidence from the beginning, the middle, and the end. Okay.
First, then, and finally, to link all of my evidence together to support the topic statement. My paragraph might sound like this. Little yellow leaf changed. First, yellow leaf was alone. Then it saw another leaf. Finally, they went away and away and away. Now it's your turn. You can do it. There's the check mark. Here's an opportunity to show your classroom teacher just how much you've grown as a writer. As you work on the focusing question task, be sure to include three pieces of evidence, one from the beginning, one from the middle, and one from the end. That's right. Also, be sure to use these linking words to link your evidence together. I'm going to bring us back to the evidence chart, and I'd like you to pause there. So as you work on your focusing question task, you can refer back to our evidence chart for support. Pause here to do your very best writing on this focusing question task, and just hit play when your writing is complete and you're ready to wrap up our lesson.
Okay, so here's what you're going to do, okay? The first thing you need to do, like I said a few minutes ago, was you have to finish the chart on page 10. You have to finish the chart. Without the chart finished, you don't have all the information for your evidence, okay? Then you're going to pick evidence. You're going to pick one from the beginning. You're going to circle whichever one that you pick with yellow, either with a crayon or a marker or a colored pencil. Any of those will work. You're going to circle the one you chose. So if I chose yellow leaf is alone, I would circle that section in yellow. Then you're going to pick one from the middle and you're going to circle it in blue. Okay? If I decided to do will you, I will. I would circle that one in blue. And then you're going to pick one from the end and you're going to circle it in yellow again. So yellow, blue, yellow. One from the beginning, one from the middle, one from the end. And those are the three pieces of evidence that you're going to use in your writing for how does the little yellow leaf change? So you have 7 things that you have to have on your writing activity. First of all, you have to have a topic statement. Remember, guys, a topic statement is basically just you rewording the question. So you have to tell what the rest of the paragraph is going to be about. So the question says, how does the little yellow leaf change? Think about what Miss Sabella said. Her topic statement was very simple. She said, the little yellow leaf changed from fall to winter. That would be a good topic statement because that's telling me that my next 3 sentences are going to tell me how the little yellow leaf changed from fall to winter. Okay? So you have to have a topic statement. That's worth 10 points. You have to have your first statement. Do you see how I underlined it in yellow? Because on your chart back here, it's going to be circled in yellow. So those are going to go together. And look, if you go ahead and write first on your paper, you will already have the third requirement. Okay, you'll have a topic statement. Then you're going to have first, and you're going to finish the sentence like first. Let's say, what did I choose? little yellow leaf is alone. So I would say, this is the one that I said I was going to choose. I would say, first, the little yellow leaf is all alone. That would be my evidence sentence. And I used the word first. So that's two things right there that you use that were a requirement. Then you're going to go back to the middle column. You're going to find the piece that you wrote and colored in blue. Remember, I said I was going to use this one. So I can say, then little yellow leaf and little scarlet leaf decided to let go together. So I use my middle piece of evidence and I use the word then. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things already that you were required to do. And then we have the word finally. I'm going to go back to my chart to the end, and I'm going to choose leaves, let go, and sword. And that was circled in yellow. So then I'm going to say, finally, the little scarlet leaf and the little yellow leaf let go and soared through the air. So that would be 1, topic statement. 2, I used the word first, and I had a beginning sentence. So that's 2 and 3. Then, that's 4. Then I had my middle sentence. That's 5. Finally, that's 6. And then I had my ending sentence. That would be 7. That would be the 7 requirements for your writing activity. Okay? All right. So let's finish the video, and then I will show you your assignments for today.
Thank you for doing your very best work today. I will see you very soon, my friends.
Okay, so that was the end of the lesson. So now let's go to, I'm going to show you your work in the classroom. So if you come to our classroom page, here it is. And for those of you that did not know yet, I made this post this morning because I gave you an assignment to do a story retell on Flipgrid. And Flipgrid is not working. I've had so many of you guys call and write and text and tell me that Flipgrid is not allowing you to get on. And so I have changed the assignment a little bit. So here it is, story retell for the little yellow leaf. So I updated it to make it say for you to go to Google Classroom. Well, I need to fix this one. So this one, it tells for you to go to Google Classroom to do your Flipgrid video instead of the Flipgrid video. So you're going to go to Google Classroom. If you checked your school email, you will have the invitation with your code in it to get logged in. And I'm actually going to use, see, this is what it looks like on my end. And if I click on somebody, let's see, I'm just going to click on, well, you know what? I'm going to click on Danny because Danny has already turned things into me. So way to go, Danny. So I clicked on Danny, and here are the things that he has already turned into me. Okay, he has sent me some pictures of him doing stuff for PE and for art and for science even. And then he has submitted his story retell already. What you were going to do is you were going to submit a video, okay? So when you get on Google Classroom, the assignment is for you to make a video of your story retell through ClassDojo, not Flipgrid. Okay, so we're not going to do Flipgrid. We're going to do ClassDojo from now on. It's just not working for some reason. So if we go to this week, week 5. So here is the focusing question task for the little yellow leaf, okay? And lots of very detailed descriptions, okay? Here is the paper that tells you some of the things that are required. And then once you have written in your journal on page 15, once you have written your focusing question task response, you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to upload it up into this Google slide, okay? It even has the question on top. How does the little yellow leaf change? So you're going to insert it in that. Now keep in mind, guys, that Class Dojo is great, but most of our work has to be turned in on Google Classroom still, because that's where it gets graded, okay? The videos and things are going to go on Google, on Class Dojo, but most of your work will still be submitted on Google Classroom. And then you also have a journal response question. Okay, so this is where you're going to go on page 14 of your journal. And this is the question, what does the little yellow leaf learn? Remember, this one is your opinion. This is what you think he learns in the story. And then you're going to take a picture of it and you're going to submit it and insert it into this Google slide. Okay. So that will be your 2 assignments for today. And I really would like for you to make sure, go back through your classwork section, make sure that you have watched all the videos, make sure that you are submitting all of your assignments, because the 9 weeks is almost up. And guys, we have so many people who are not doing their work. And that makes me so sad, because when it comes time for me to talk to the principals, I'm going to have to tell them, I'm sorry, so-and-so is not doing any work for me online. And then the principals are going to have to start calling people. That's not what you want. So make sure that you are also, oh, and here's your change chart for the little yellow leaf. And I'm going to put in the new photo. This is the one from yesterday. I'll put in the new photo of the 3rd row for you. Make sure you're working on your vocabulary for the little yellow leaf. And make sure you're working on your fluency homework, guys. Your fluency homework needs to be signed and turned in, signed every night by grown-ups for 3 to 5 times for 4 school nights. All right. So I think that is all that I had for you. So I think you guys have a wonderful night, or a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful day, whenever it is that you're watching this. And I will see you again later. Bye, guys.